here around the Bahrain circuit. Logan Aron taking first pole position of the season. We've got our driver analyst Jensen Randall with us, aka Jensen Hamilton, aka I'm glad you're not racing in SRL anymore.
I'm glad I'm able to watch it though. That's a good thing, but a lovely dry race around Bahrain. What else can you expect?
Yes, weather will clearly not be a factor in the middle of the desert. But temperature-wise, I mean, from a driver's standpoint, I mean, what's the optimum tire strategy heading into this race, especially since it's going to be a 50% race?
Recent Formula Ones, like the recent seasons, we've seen soft to medium or medium to soft, like the softer compounds being the better tire, but this season I think the harder tires are going to be the better race tire. It seems the softer tires really die out very quickly. They don't last a lot of laps at all, and going to the formation lap.
So we'll run down your running order. Logan Aron on pole position went 128 flat, followed by Guillermo Garcia, a great qualifying effort, and then Max Mulder, surprise third place run here in qualifying. Great qualifying effort by him. He's followed by Sandro Dulius. Sandro with 10 Grand Prix wins to his credit over his career. No championships, though. Still looking for that elusive first championship. He'll be starting in fourth. Jesper Lempinen has a win to his credit as well from a couple seasons back at Monza. He'll be starting in the 5th position. And he is followed by... This was the Alfa Romeo. This was Matteo. Had a good qualifying effort. Rookie this year coming into this season. And then Vincenzo, the reserve driver over at AlphaTauri, qualifying 7th. It's a great effort by him. And then the other Alpha driver, Nicolo Falzaresi, is starting in the 8th position. He's only done 7 races in SRL so far. This is going to be his first full-time season, but already has a win to his credit, finishing first at Jeddah last year in his 4th race ever. And then George Pudding. I'm not even 100% sure who that is. Obviously not George Russell. Then we've got Season 4 champ Nick Van Gelder starting in the 10th position. Looking to get back to his championship form. We've got Dion Stahl starting in 11th. Ivan Brito making his way back to the league. Full time, will be starting in 12th. And Senna Herweyer. I don't even know how you say that. Senna starting in 13th, followed by Robin Herterstegen in the McLaren. Jeremy Pope in the Alpine. The American will be starting in the 15th spot. And then Luke Smith did not set a time. He's a reserve driver. The Australian is extremely fast. We'll see him in the top 10 in no time. And then Bangle 300 in the Williams. Not 100% sure who that is. And that is 17 cars for today's race.
One thing I wish I'd told them is the formation that isn't actually going to do anything to their tyres. They're going to sell very cool tyres because it's an EA Sports game. But Sandro,
like
I think Sandro will have tyre temps, and on the soft, so watch out for him. A start.
There we go. Drivers get set here at the line. 5 red lights. Lights out, time to run what you brung, and they're away in a puff of smoke, and a great start by Max Mulder and Logan Aron. They head down into turn 1 as they fan out. And I can't get a good camera angle because EA sucks. And look at this. Max Mulder takes over the 2nd spot from Guerrero, and he's putting pressure under Logan Aron from the get-go. Going to try and make a move down to the inside, coming into the next right-hander. Mulder is there. Logan Aron going to try and do a crossover, but he can't make it stick. And Max Mulder out in front from the 3rd position, being chased by the American Logan Aron in the Haas. Guillermo drops to 3rd, and there's a separation of the top 3 already as we see we've got a car around. That's one of the Alfa Romeos and one of the AlphaTauris. And Vincenzo's involved. There's all kinds of cars involved.
Yeah, and there's a bit of wing end plate everywhere I could see there. And Sandra having a really, really poor start on his soft tyres, dropped to 11th.
So it looks like
Maybe
Vincenzo
does
was
he have
involved.
damage?
Looks
Maybe.
like Matteo was involved.
He is. Okay,
Bangle
just
300, he's involved.
Oh, and that's a spin. That's. Oh no, it's the Polo. And that's a big crash. Big crash.
Oh, and I wasn't able to catch it.
Try and get to that. Oh, I wish you could get to that. And
we see, we've got
strewn across the middle there.
George Pudding's got no front wing. I don't know who Pudding is. That's going to annoy me because that's a silly name. That would be George Wilkins, the reserve driver. Meanwhile, back at the front, through all of this, we've got the safety car out. Max Mulder has had a 1.3 second lead, but the safety car has come out because of the crash between Jeremy Pope and Vincenzo, which is too bad. Vincenzo had such a great qualifying effort. He got caught up in that early wreck in the lap, and then I got caught up in another one. And I'm really annoyed with EA's spectator options. It makes things difficult from previous games released by Codemasters to try and catch some of this stuff. So we'll have a little bit of a reset on the running order. Max Mulder, your leader. Logan Arond is running in second. Guillermo third. Jesper Lempinen up to fourth. Nick Van Gelder up to fifth. That's 5 spots up from him. And what did I tell you? Luke Smith started 16th all the way up to 6th on the opening lap. Robin Herderstegen 7th. Dion Stahl 8th. Senna's made it up to 9th. Sandro, as you said, though, has dropped down to 10th. Had a poor start on his part. Wilkins has come out of the pits with a brand new front wing. He'll be in 11th. Ivan Brito at 12th. And Matteo and Nicolo 13th and 14th. And Bangle 300. Who is that? That is Christian Dorman is Bangle 300. So we started with 17 cars. We've got down to 15. We've only managed to make a lap, unfortunately. Big crash in Sector 2. Currently under the safety car. Safety car should be in this lap. So really great start by Max Mulder. Started in the 3rd position, made the jump, had a great start, got past Guillermo, and made that great move on Logan. I don't think Logan was expecting that heading down after the end of this straightaway that they're currently on. And Jeremy Pope has officially left the session. He was in the Alpine. He'll be credited with a 16th place finish and a DNF. And Jensen, I mean, Vincenzo had a great qualifying effort, and it just all unraveled on the opening lap. That's got to be super frustrating for him. So we're running under the safety car currently, waiting to get back to green flag racing. Max Mulder in the Mercedes. Following the Mercedes AMG safety car. Heading into Sector 2, we should get a notification that the safety car will be in this lap. So, round 1 of Season 6 here at the SRL Racing League. And while there are many SRL racing leagues, there's only one Sandro Racing League. 6th season for this league. So really impressed so far with Max Mulder and Luke Smith. I knew Luke would be fast, prying Stingray, running in the 6th spot. Started 16th. Luke, quite a character. He's from Australia. Never qualifies because he knows he's fast. And he does the Kyle Larson mentality. Likes to pass people. So the safety car will be in this lap. Max Mulder will become the control car as he slows things down here on the back straightaway. And looks like Logan really needs to close that gap a little bit. He's going to let Max get a good jump if he doesn't get up to his rear bumper. So here we go. Max is probably going to accelerate coming out of this last corner down onto the front stretch. And there goes Logan. Max trying to play the brake check game, and they're back off and running. And great open. Look at this. Here comes Jesper Lempinen on the inside of Logan Aron down into turn 1. Jesper is going to try and outbrake him. Logan's going to go around the outside. Can he make it stick heading into turn 2? And he's going to give him a little nudge. Oh, and around goes Guillermo. And around goes the Aston Martin of Senna. Meanwhile, Jesper Lempinen is still trying to get past Logan Aron. Senna is going to drop all the way back to the rear of the running order. We've got another yellow flag in Sector 1. Looks like that's Dion Stahl that's involved. Let's see if we can get to Dion. What's going on there?
It looks like he had a spinner, so I was wrong for a second, but I am back. And it looks like a little bit of a hectic restart for Summer, but Max Mulder is very much clear, a second gap already over Logan, but of course hard tyres, going to be a little bit harder to fire up, but Logan might be able to close the gap again.
So Logan just within 9/10 of a second. The DRS is not enabled just yet. Luke Smith up to 4th.
What a race from Luke Smith, already 4 laps in, and he's gone from last to 4th. And he's on the hard tyres. It's been quite a start indeed for him. He's an expert at doing that.
And Max Mulder just set the fastest lap of the race, 1:32.867. And here comes Luke Smith. Got a good slipstream down into turn 1.
Was Sandro losing a few places there?
Uh-oh. Sandro has... We've got Ivan Brito. Sandro down to 10th. Looks like he may have had a scuffle with a couple of drivers. Meanwhile, we've got Luke Smith still trying to hone in on Jesper Lempinen. Uh-oh, and Ivan Brito. Looks like there's another problem with Matteo.
Yeah, he's had another spin at turn 7. He's seems to be a very tricky corner for him at this race today, in both qualifying and the race. He's some comfort.
There he is.
He's left the session.
Oh, and Matteo has officially left the session. That is unfortunate for him, so his car will
Look
go
at Logan.
AI.
Logan has fired the tyres up, and he is all over the back of Max here, and this might be a fairly simple overtake for Logan.
We're right on board with Logan as they head out of the final quarter down into turn 1. DRS should be enabled at this point. And look at that, Max all the way down to the wall to try and break up the stream. Here we go. DRS is enabled. Logan not close enough to make a move heading into turn 1. It's a good run out of the kink there, but look at that. Max Mulder able to put the traction down, pull away down this short straightaway. Logan running
maybe
that
not
wide
too easy
arc.
for Logan though. Could be different setups that might be causing that.
Max runs a little wide coming out of that corner, but maintaining the pace.
See Logan catching up very much in the corners, but Max seems to be a little bit more difficult for him on the straights, so it could be maybe lower wings or maybe deploying a lot more down the straights. But Logan, I think he's going to have the DRS this lap though.
Well, the drive off by Max's Mercedes is really impressive. He's able to get that power down and really scoot away coming out of some of these slower corners.
And there's Ferrari having to exit out turn 7. I think there's Dion there. But move back to the front of this because we should see an overtake this lap.
So he's going to have the DRS.
DRS enabled. There we go.
And again, all the way down to the wall.
He's not deploying. Max is on the deploy, and he's managed to keep Logan at bay again. He's going to choose to use
This is some
behind
great
him.
defensive driving by Max Mulder. Mulder looking for his maiden Formula One win here in SRL. He's got a GT3 championship with SRL, but his GT3, it's quite the disparity there between the GT3 cars and the Formula One cars. He's never done as well in the F1 cars as he does in the sports cars, but he's really putting on a show today, holding off Logan Aron.
Yeah, there's another yellow flag. I think that is Christian Dorman, and he's, I think he might have had a spin out of turn 4, but he's lost out to Dion and massive heap of time for the
Looks like that was
pack.
George Wilkins again, had gone around in sectors 1 and 2. With Dion to pick up a spot there. Logan still trying to find a way around this Mercedes of Max Mulder.
I think he knows he's after Russia. He's on the alternate strategy. He knows to be faster at the end of the race.
Meanwhile, while this is happening, there's a battle going on behind them. Luke Smith looking to make a move on Jesper Lempinen for the 3rd position. Luke Smith, who started in the 16th position, didn't even bother to make a qualifying effort. And Max Mulder runs another fastest lap, 1:32.829, improving on his previous fastest lap.
Yeah, so no attempt to make an overtake there from Logan. Not putting any
and Luke Smith
energy
is going
down.
to try and get to the inside of Jesper. Jesper outbraked himself a little bit going into that corner. Was able to
Is that
maintain
the
the
switch
spot,
back
but
there?
here comes Luke, all the
Here
way
we
down
go.
to the inside.
Oh, it's getting really close.
Oh, and Luke Smith and
big
Jesper
gap
Lempinen
there.
make contact. And now back to the inside, a crossover move by Jesper Lempinen as they head down in the next corner. Logan
Brilliant
shuts
racing
him
there
off.
at the end.
Jesper's not done. He's going to try and come back as they head down to this right-hander.
Yeah, they got a bit too close there, going into turn 4, but Luke held his own. But I think Luke wasn't in the wrong there. Jesper was squeezing a bit too much. But we managed to come out on top of that one. Now he can chase down Logan and Max at the front. But here comes Jesper coming back at him though.
What a good line by Luke Smith to take the air off of the front of that car. See the sparks flying out from Jesper's car. Back onto the back straightaway.
Yeah, Jesper's going to try and come back at him, I think, on the main straight.
Looked like
Meanwhile,
Luke Smith
Logan
looked like Logan was trying to make a move on Max, couldn't make it work. Luke
Max
still holding off
a
Jesper.
big advantage of the ERS over Logan.
And
He's
Jesper
using
Lempenen's going
quite
to
a bit
dive to
down
the
straight.
inside of Luke Smith. Luke's going to run him all the way down to the wall. They make contact. Jesper's going to have the DRS advantage. He's going to get back to the inside. Oh, and he's going to push Luke wide.
Look
Luke's
at
going to
that.
push back. A little bit of argy-bargy there.
I think Luke should have DRS. He broke just before they got to the line, and he's going to come back at him on the inside.
What a move
turn
by Luke
4.
Smith. And the crossover by
Oh,
Jesper again.
contact.
They make more contact.
Hard but good racing between these two. Luke, once again, he holds his own out in front of Jesper.
That was some incredible driving by Luke Smith and Jesper Lempinen. It looks like Jesper is starting to fade a little bit. Got a couple of car lengths in there. Meanwhile, Logan's still trying to find a way around Max Mulder.
Caught.
And Senna has picked up the first time penalty of the race, 3-second time penalty. It's going to be inconsequential to him as he currently runs in the 15th position.
I think we see more Logan attacking down the straight now, and he's really close on that exit. A really good exit. 3/10 of a second, and he's going to push for the overtake here. Max is still on the energy though, and he's still keeping ahead. So there must be a very, very low downforce setup for Max there if he's managed to keep so much speed.
Logan has to be scratching his head at this point.
Wow.
How do I make this work? It
Yeah.
looks like Nick Van Gelder has made a move on Guillermo Garcia to take over the 5th position.
I don't think it's over though, because Guillermo's going to try and come back, I think. Down this next straight, DRS for him, and he's going to go to the inside. Nick's going to go around the outside. He's going to hold his line.
Oh, and this is a three-car battle because we've got George Wilkins, and now it looks like Nick's going to go from 5th to 7th. He's going to lose 2 positions in that one corner. Wilkins back up to 5th. I'm sorry, Guillermo back up to 5th. Wilkins in 6th, and Van Gelder drops back to 7th now. Robin Herderstegen is closing in on this battle as well.
Yeah, George Wilkins, he made really good at that situation there. Seeing them both battling, and just sneaks up the inside of Nick into turn 6 and made that move done, and he's up 1 place because of that. And Nick, in the end, trying to battle them, he's lost out a place himself overall, so it's not gone well for him there, but he's going to try and come back, I think, the next couple of laps or so.
So Wilkins going to come down the back straight away.
Logan. Logan is attacking here. He's got the best run he's got all race. And he's going to go for the outside, and I think he's just about got DRS for the next straight, and he's made Max go a different and more trickier line, and here he comes into turn 4.
All the way down to the inside. Logan's going to sweep to the outside. He's going to take that wide arc, going to try and get the power down, but Max hanging tough. Oh, and they touch!
Oh no, they made a little contact. And Max not giving any room there for Logan. He didn't want him to go through, and he's just
Logan dives to the inside. This is some great racing. Good
off that.
Yes, and look at that power down for Logan, and he's able to pull away. Max got offline and went off track.
But now Max, like, he's going to have the DRS, and with his straight line speed advantage, it looks like he's had over Logan this race. It might be a bit tricky to hold him back, but if Logan gets the gap, then it might be a little bit easier for himself. Second gap is all he needs. I think Logan is pushing to get that gap now. The mediums are gone, and Logan is only half a tenth off that.
And look at that, Logan able to pull out 9/10 of a second down that straightaway.
It's not enough though. There's a battle going through turn 12 and 13. Ivan and Robin Herderstegen battling through there, and it's like Ivan's come out on top of that one.
So Ivan picks up the 9th position. Uh-oh. Oh, that's Nick diving into the pits. No, we still got a battle here, though. This is George Wilkins and Guillermo now down to 5th. Oh, and I thought that was Nick diving into the... It said he was going into the pits. Nick must have dived down to the track very low. And Guillermo trying to go around the outside of Wilkins. Wilkins is going to try and push him wide.
What a move from Guillermo. I think he's just... Yeah, he's ahead. That was a very good retaliation from Guillermo there to take back the place.
So great move by Guillermo Garcia to move back into the 4th position. And while all of this has been going on, Luke Smith has managed to...
He's running in his own...
He's running in his own little world. He's running in 3rd. He's 6 seconds behind Max Mulder. He's 8 seconds in front of that 3-car battle. Just kind of doing his own thing. Started 16th position. And now we've got a yellow flag in Sector 1.
It's 10. I think he's out of spin, but he's back going again. So no crash or safety car. Hopefully that's no curse I've bestowed on anyone there. But you see there, Logan, he has broke the 2nd. But as Max got back into that,
and now we've got Ivan Brito and Sandro Dulius. Looks like they've got a battle going on. And this is the 3-car battle behind Guillermo, Wilkins, and Van Gelder. This is Sandro Dulius, Ivan Brito, and Robin Herderstegen. This is 7th, 8th, and 9th.
I think Ivan's ran out of energy there, going down the straight. So wasn't really able to make much progress on Sandro. Sandro just be able to hold himself ahead.
And Sandro, he qualified in the top 5. Oh, and a big moment there for Ivan Brito. But yeah, good qualifying effort by Sandro, but as you noted, he had a terrible start, fell all the way back into 10th. He's been trying to work his way back forward ever since. Managed to get up to 7th. And we're still waiting on some of these guys to make some pit stops, and it looks like Guillermo's gone around.
Yeah. Guillermo and Neek, they might have a moment there, maybe. Who knows, but he's dropped back a place there, and Neek's got back. Neek has got the place that he was searching for a few laps ago.
And there is a bit of a separation now between these guys. So Nick up to the 5th position.
Logan pulled the gap. Now he's got 2 seconds over Max. I think those mediums are starting to become a bit less viable. Probably Max would be pitting next lap, maybe, or this lap. For a set of hard tyres, I assume.
We'll go back to the 2-car battle now. Looks like Robin Herterstegen has fallen off of this battle here. We've got a couple of cars diving into the pits. That's Nick Van Gelder and Guillermo Garcia.
He's got wing damage, that's why. So that might have been instant with Guillermo, who gave him wing damage. Gets his pit stop out of the way. Luckily enough, it was probably when he wanted to pit, but an extra 5 seconds pretty much of his race taken off because of that wing change.
And Ivan Brito looking to make a move on Sandro Dulius in the Aston Martin there. Sandro rocking the Ferrari, of course. And Ivan Brito, he's actually honed in on his craft a little bit. He's been in and out of SRL a couple of times because of personal reasons, but back in it full-time this year. And running in the 6th position, that's a good effort by him, trying to find a way around Sandro. Whoa, and a big moment there by Dulius. And Sandro's going to lose out on that position. Some snap oversteer as Sandro tried to get the power down. He's going to lose the position to Ivan Brito, and Ivan works his way up into the 5th position. And Logan Arand has just run the fastest lap of this race at a 1:32.615. That's 0.2 quicker than Max Mulder's fastest lap.
Max Mulder in the pits.
Max is going to make his first pit stop of the day.
Off the hard compound tyres. It's going to be a long warm-up for him. He's got to hope he's rejoined in his own little pocket of air, but I don't think he is. I think he's going to rejoin with Ivan Brito and Sandro Dulius.
And yeah, he is going to come out right behind Ivan and Sandro.
Sandro's really wide though, but I don't think it's going to be enough for Max to try and get through those tyres. Going to lose probably a couple of seconds on the warm-up.
And it looks like Guillermo's making a move on Nick Van Gelder. This is the battle for 10th now. These two can't seem to separate each other on the track here, even after the pit stop sequence. So Guillermo gets in front of Nick for the last points-paying position, and I'm sure that's not going to bode well with the Season 4 champ, Van Gelder. Drops him to 11th.
Yeah, but remember they've pitted, haven't they? And there's many other drivers in front that have not pitted yet for tyres. And I'll tell you what.
Looks like Logan and
George
Luke
Wilkins
and Dion Stahl have yet to pit.
Yeah, lead runner who has pit.
But we have to remember that some of these guys did pit on the lap 2 under the safety car, so they're still probably going to have to make another pit stop. There's no way they're going to be able to run the tires all the way to the end of the race.
I mean, potentially. You could probably see... I mean, I don't know the tyre deg for the hard tyres, but we can see how far they can take them. But, yeah, they're probably bound to pit. Well, I think they might try and go for a soft tyre at the end of the race. Than what they did have performed.
Oh, and a 3-second time penalty for Nick Van Gelder.
Yeah. Second drive of this race, pick up a penalty. Very tricky track to pick up a penalty, really, even if you tried.
So it looks like the closest battle we've got on track right now is still Ivan Brito and Sandro Dulius. Max Mulder closing the gap on those two, down to 1.3 seconds. He's been in and out of the pits. So he's got a little bit fresher tires than these two. Meanwhile, Luke Smith up to 2nd place. He's 8 seconds behind Logan Arand.
pits.
Oh, and another big moment there for Sandro. I think that's the same corner he lost out on to Ivan last time, so that allows Max to close the gap to him a little bit. Max now within 0.6 of a second, so he'll have the DRS advantage heading down the back straightaway.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a really good go at Sandro here. Sandro is pretty low for energy. Max has got quite a bit to deploy, and Logan into the pits. So he must be going for the medium tyres, as he does, and he should come out comfortably ahead of this battle of cars. And even that, he comes out comfortably ahead of George Wilkins. Well, so really good.
And here we go, Mulder to the inside of the Ferrari of Sandro Dulius.
That's a very easy move from Max. He might have just about picked up DRS off Ivan Brito as well. No, he didn't. Sandro might come back at him, but he's not.
And now Max Mulder can set his sights on Ivan Brito for the 4th position. And as you said, Logan comes out of the pits. He was able to clear George, but not by much. George is all over the back of Logan, warmer tires. Logan, probably the faster driver of the two. I don't know a whole lot about Wilkins. It's his first year with SRL. He is technically a reserve driver. And a good drive off by Logan down this straightaway, and Wilkins is going to lose about half a second just in that alone. And Luke Smith started in the 16th position all the way up to 1st. He's yet to pit, but he's got a 12.5 second gap over Logan Aron from the 2nd spot. Meanwhile, Max Mulder,
I'll tell you one thing about Luke.
Making a move on Ivan Brito.
No, he's going to come into the pits anyway. Never mind. It's just defied my point there. But Luke usually waits for something to happen in the race. He gets a massive advantage. But
is this Luke actually trying to win a race for a change?
He's going to be 9 seconds behind Logan still as they pass through. I think Logan. No.
Here we go, Max Mulder to the inside of Ivan Brito, and Mulder's going to move himself up into the 3rd position with a little bit of help of Luke Smith pitting. So George Wilkins is currently in the 2nd spot. And Sandro is making a pit as well from the 9th position.
And he's hard tight. He went really long on those mediums. Really took them a stretch, but I don't know if that's going to pay off. He's going to come out in his battle, and he's tapped around Guillermo Garcia, and that's not how you want to exit the pits. You want to be careful, but Sandro is tapped around, and I think I don't know what's happened there.
That'll be interesting to see if it gets reported to the stewards after the race. So Sandro
and
is
Andrew
he
might have already
position?
got damage.
Does he have damage, or is he giving the position back?
Oh, and he's on the back of him. I think Sandro might have a bit of damage. Very, very understeery, or it might just be cold tyres, but I don't know.
I think he may have been giving that spot back to Guillermo.
I don't know if that will stop him from reporting him, but see what happens. Logan sets the fastest after the race. He's looking for oh no!
Oh, and Guillermo goes around. Oh, and he's hard into the wall.
That could be a safety car. Wing on the track there. Very, very easily give punctures, and it looks like he's going to avoid a safety car there, and Wing has been cleared off by other drivers.
That is unfortunate for Guillermo. He obviously he had that little tussle with Sandro. I think Sandro gave the position back, but it was all for naught, and Guillermo's still struggling.
I think his tyres are absolutely cooked. The rear's cooked. Probably from that tap around that caused that.
He pulls back out onto the track. He's got a quicker car approaching. This is, well, I wouldn't say it's a quicker car. It's Senna. And Senna picks up a 3-second time penalty trying to avoid him. That's going to be inconsequential. So and Guillermo into the pits.
Retires.
And he is going to retire from the session. So he'll retire the car into the pits, as you should. And that will do it for him. So we'll pick up Logan Aron, do a little bit of a reset here on the running position. Actually, we've got Ivan Brito.
Oh yeah, to pit, isn't it? Oh, he did pit on lap 2, but he is still yet to make a proper pit stop, and that's Senna. Had another spin at turn 4, very common corner for him in this race. He's spinning out.
So Ivan Brito in the 4th position, trying to make a move on Luke Smith, but Luke just ran the fastest lap of this race. 0.6 of a second quicker than Logan's time. Yeah. So Luke Smith on the move. He's got his sights set on Max Mulder. Mulder running in 2nd.
I think, he's looking for P2 at the best in this race, I think. Or minimum P2. Unless something happened to Logan. But it's looking that way at the moment. He's got 10 laps, or 9.5 laps.
And here we go, Nick Van Gelder on Sandro down to the inside. Battle for 9th position. Sandro having a rough day today. Sandro's going to try and hang tough on the outside, but he's not going to be able to make it work.
There they go through turn 2. Sandro had to back out a little bit there, and Sandro's going to get a DRS for up to turn 4.
And Sandro down to the inside of Nick. Nick's going to do the crossover move. They're side by side, and they almost make contact. And it looks like Sandro might have him clear for now, but still Nick within DRS range. And Sandro's coming to the corner where he has struggled coming out of multiple times this race. Be interesting to see if it happens again.
Oh, yeah, poor apex there.
Oh, and now Nick's the one that's got a little bit of an issue, but he's going to drive all the way down to the inside. Sandro's still able to hold him off for now. Oh, and a bit of snap oversteer for Nick Van Gelder, but he's going to have the DRS. He's going to have the slipstream. Looks like Sandro's going to be able to hold him off here, but Nick's going to be able to get another run down the front straightaway into turn 1.
Yeah, they're going to go out all over again. Another lap. And Nick is not going to hold back until here he goes.
Oh, that was close. Double move by Nick to try and get by him. Sandro back to the inside. Nick outbreaks himself.
That was all for the DRS there, and Sandro's holding around the outside, and I think it's going to be
side by side going through the corner, and now Sandro's got the DRS. Again, Nick's going to try the crossover move, gets the power down, and look at that great run coming out of the corner. Wheel to wheel through the S's. Oh, and Sandro runs wide. Great move by Nick. Sandro's going to come back on the inside. And again, crossover from Nick. Now he's going to try and stick it to the outside. And he's all over the rear bumper of Sandro's Ferrari. And again, this is the corner that Sandro's been struggling at, trying to get out of. Good exit that time. Oh, and a little bit of a twitch there from Nick.
That was great racing between them two there, all the way through the middle of sector 2. Yeah, that was brilliant. I think that might be evident of Sandro might have a little bit of damage, but he kind of equals out with Nick's tyre disadvantage of 4 laps older tyres, and I think we're going to see in the next lap or 2 Luke Smith trying to make a move on Max Mulder.
I just noticed Luke is down to within half a second of Max Mulder, so he's getting within striking distance for that 2nd place position. We're still riding on board with Nick Van Gelder. And again, all the way down to the inside, and looks like Nick's going to get him this time, but nope. Again, Sandro to the outside, hangs tough. It's going to give him the preferred line heading into the next corner. And again, oh, and Nick's able to put the power down and just squeezes by him, but DRS for Sandro.
That'll be enough. Here we go.
And again,
really deep into the race.
Crossover from Nick. Unbelievable. It's a carbon copy of the lap before.
I think Nick might have it here, but Sandro's trying to hold tough around the outside. Going wheel to wheel again. But I think this time Nick has finally made the move stick, and Sandro's tapped her around on that. Another great battle has just ended Just
And
like
now
that,
Dion, Sandra's teammate's going to dive into the inside of him and take that position away. So great racing from Nick and Sandro, but it looks like Nick has fallen back to 12th because of the spin. Sandro is up to 9th, holding that position. And Dion Stahl finds himself running in 8th.
Yeah, SRL out on the soft tyres. Dion going to the end, it looks like, on the softs.
Meanwhile, we've got Luke Smith all over the back of Max Mulder for the 2nd position. As we pick up this battle.
Yeah, Max Mulder with the massive straight line speed he's getting. It's going to be so tricky for Luke to get by, and Max has a big ERS advantage. So this battle for P2 to go either way, I think.
And here we go, Luke Smith down the straightaway. He's going to have the DRS advantage. We ride on board with him.
I think he's going to wait for the main 2 straights there. And his yellow flag, and that's Nick. He's had a moment. Might be a spin out of turn 3.
Looks like a quick on off for Nick, but that's going to put him in the threshold of the Alfa Romeo.
Van and Christian still yet to pit. So we could see, I think, Jasper going up to 4th coming into the race. Unless they could somehow get the hard tyres to the end of the race, but I don't see that happening.
And Luke down to the inside. Oh, last of the late breakers trying to make it stick.
Oh!
A little bit of contact again. Crossover move by Luke. What a move. And now he's on the outside of Max Mulder. Throw. And he's got the DRS advantage, but Mulder's been so good defending his position today. Luke's going to try and carry the speed around the outside. And while these two are battling it out, Ivan Brito's come into the foray and making this a 3-car battle. No, that's not. That's Senna. That's Senna. Never mind.
Senna.
Senna's a lap car in this. He's got the same Aston Martin, but Senna needs to back off, basically.
Yeah, it's got to be careful. Don't want to interfere with this little battle here. You're lap down.
Yeah, Senna's getting a little too close for comfort. Plus, he's got time penalties to be accrued. He should probably back off just a little bit. But it looks like Luke is able to pull out away from Max and secure that 2nd position. He's now 14.5 seconds behind the leader, Logan Arond, and I don't think he's going to make up that much time in the next 5 laps. And realistically, this is the closest battle on track right now. It's not even that close of a battle. The one thing I am concerned about is Senna running in the 14th position, being a part of this 3-car train.
Yeah, and he's going around the outside of Max there. He's going for a move on Max, and he's going to back out there.
I mean, he may be on the softer tires, but he really needs to... I mean, realistically, Senna at this point is not a part of anything because he's not even remotely close to the 13th position of Nicola, who's just made the move on Nick Van Gelder for 12.
Yeah, from turn 13 as well. That's a very ambitious place to do so. And I can't believe we're almost at the end of the race already. With 4.5 laps to go, Logan 15 seconds ahead of Luke Smith. Absolutely dominant drive at the moment, ever since he got past Max. But here comes Nick. He's going to come back at Colo, and he's going to make that move stick into turn 1, and that back up to P12 for him.
It's really odd to see somebody like Nick, and who is season 4 champion, multiple race wins to his credit. You know, he's got 9 wins in his career here at SRL. He's the season 4 champion, and here he is battling for 13th with Nicola, who's already got a win to his credit in this very short career. It's weird to see these two drivers be that high caliber and then this far back in the race, struggling, not even being able to get into the points.
I think it could be...
Oh, and look at this. Looks like Max is making a move. There we go. Pick up that battle. Max and Luke back at it again.
Moment there. Oh, and Senator's spin. He's going to carry on going again. I think Logan just wants to get to the end of this lap as quick as possible to avoid any safety cars coming out to ruin this.
Well, I thought the battle was done between Luke and Max, but apparently I was wrong. Max closed that gap down. I don't know if Luke had a moment or what, but I picked it up just in time for them to be almost rear-ending each other. And again, Luke's starting to pull back away. He's now a second out in front, almost outside of that DRS threshold.
Just about got away there, and I think it might have been a moment for Luke, I don't know, or Max is just incredibly quick down the straights, tries to bring a massive gap down to like 3/10, but I think maybe a Luke mistake that might have happened.
Looks like Nick and Nicola has swapped positions again, so Nick Van Gelder back out in front of him for the 12th position. And right now, those are the two closest battles on track. We've got Luke Smith running second, followed by Max Mulder for the second spot. And then Nick Van Gelder and Nicolo Falzarezzi battling it out for the 12th position. In 3 laps to go.
Fun. Testing the limits of racing this season. If they can't manage to screw up some points at the end of the race, but it looks like Max is not letting Luke Smith go very easily. The gap there is just moving about there, now 9/10 again, but it went down to 7/10, so there could be something left to play for at the end of this race. The hards could just about become better than the mediums, and that might just be what Max needs. Get the move done, but is it too late? Because the gap is hovering at the second, and that could just be enough for Luke to keep ahead for the time being.
So this is really good improvement from Max Mulder. He's got 4 podiums to his credit, working on his 5th. He's a second behind Luke, but as the laps wind down, Mulder looking for his 5th podium position. Meanwhile, Luke Smith running in second. He's actually got a fairly established career with SRL, even though he's primarily been a reserve driver for the last 4 seasons or so. But
yeah, many wins to his name. I think the last of them coming in season 6.
I mean, 22 official races in the SRL league for Luke Smith. He's going to be picking up his 8th podium position. But he's got 3 poles, 2 fastest laps, 2 wins to his credit. He also had a great run in the IRL Racing League, the International Racing League, for a number of years. So, surprisingly, he just doesn't want to commit to a full-time season, but he could definitely be a championship contender if he did.
I mean, I can understand why he can't commit to a full-time season, especially what time it will be in Australia when he's racing right now.
Well, that's a fair point. He has expressed on a number of occasions that it's, 5 in the morning over there when we have to start?
2 in the morning, I think. Something about that. But, I mean, it's really good commitment either way, even as a reserve for him.
It's just, imagine, and this isn't to take anything away from you, but let's face it, championship seasons could have been a little bit more interesting against you had Luke been running full time as opposed to your reserve driver. I mean,
oh yeah,
and this is a testament right here. I mean, he finished second. He's going to finish second. He started 16th. Could you imagine if he just decided to actually qualify? He could have been going for the win today as opposed to Logan.
Maybe. I mean, if you look, he's on younger tyres, but Logan is still pulling away. I think Luke just knows how to go about the race from starting behind a whole pack of people, really. He just knows how to get through. Lies on either luck or just pure skill on that, and he's going to hold on to P2, it looks like, from Max Boulder. And I'll tell you what, these guys on the hard tyres, they're trying to go to the end here. They're on the final lap, 27 laps. That is absolutely incredible.
Well, actually, we've got a little bit of a battle heating up for the 5th position.
Yeah, Jesper on the
Oh, and
younger
this is
hard
Jesper.
tyres. And those hard tyres, they are absolutely on the edge here. I don't know if they're going to make it to the end without a few slip-ups. But
And that is Christian Dorman in the
Christian
Williams trying to hold on to 5th position.
Here comes Logan coming into the final corner. He's about to come across the line in a few seconds' time.
And here comes Logan Aron to pick up the first win of the season. He's going to be super happy about that. Luke Smith has got enough of a gap over Max Mulder to pick up the second spot. Great run by Luke Smith.
Look how close this is. Yes, but he can't get through. Christian holding on so well on his 27-lap-old tyres.
Christian Dorman trying to hang on for life here at this point.
He does absolutely.
Jesper dives to the inside as the last-ditch effort. They make contact.
And he's held on. He's held on just by the skin of his teeth there. And Christian's going to hold on to fifth. Ivan and Christian, what a drive from both of them. 20 laps on the hards.
And here comes George Wilkins. George Wilkins with a solid run today into the 7th position. Good run for him. Debut race for him. Dion Stahl coming out of the last corner. Going to finish in the 8th spot in front of his teammate Sandro, who's had a rough day. Sandro is going to be super, super frustrated after this race, I can tell. Coming across the line in 9th. And then Robin Herderstagen trying to hold off Mateo for the last points-paying position.
It denies Mateo a debut points finish there. What a race, though.
I tell you what, that was a really, really good race. Driver of the day, Luke Smith, without a doubt, hands down. 16th to 2nd.
Would he be your driver of the day if it wasn't decided by the game, or would you have anyone else?
He would definitely have my vote for driver of the day, and followed closely by Ivan Brito. Solid run today by him. Even Christian Dorman, as you said, running 27 laps on hard tires. I didn't think it could be done. You kind of questioned it. I would love to see what the wear on those tires looks like at the end of this race. But there's Logan, first win of the season. Way to kick off his championship run. He's got a lot of confidence going into the season because you are not a factor. And after today, it looks like he may still be having to fight a Mercedes for that championship, though, with the run that Max Mulder had.
Yeah, that was really good racing at the start of this race there, but of course, in the end, strategy paid off for Logan, and he, at the end, on the medium tyres, he just sat comfortably, cruising to the win.
So unofficial results, points. We've got Logan Aron, who also gets fastest lap. We've got Luke Smith in 2nd, Max Mulder 3rd, Ivan Brito 4th, Christian Dorman is 5th, Jesper Lempinen is 6th, George Wilkins is 7th, Dion Stahl is 8th, Sandro Dulius is 9th, and Robert Herderstagen rounding out your top 10 points-paying positions, followed by Mateo and Nicola, and then Nick Van Gelder, and then Senna bringing home your last running car. Jeremy Pope and Vincenzo will be credited with DNFs. What a way to open Season 6 for SRL.
Yeah, I'm glad I got to commentate on this race. Absolutely brilliant season opener. Not a single disappointment, really, apart from of course, the lobby issues. But
yes, lobby issues and is an issue trying to get people into the lobby, but we may have found a fix for that for going into next week, so hopefully we won't be starting behind schedule. And things seem to have worked out semi-okay today on all fronts. So I want to thank Jensen for doing the official SRL stream and being my race analyst and co-commentator today. And we will do it all again next week at round 2.
Or is that Australia as well? It's going to be another interesting.
It'll be interesting to see if Luke Smith participates in that one. Be a home race for him. Obviously not at a opportune time, but we will certainly see what happens. So This has been Jensen Randall, Lance LeBrun for SRL. Guys, like, subscribe, and comment to the channel. Be sure to check out their official YouTube channel and their official website. And we will see everybody in the next round.